things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it, and it was. But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Well, that'll do it. Diddy better start packing up because Usher is about to end him once and for all by exposing some of the darkest secrets about him. Word on the streets is that Usher is about to drop a lawsuit that's going to be crazier than Cassie's lawsuit, revealing how Diddy allegedly SA'd him when he was a child living with Diddy. And listen, y'all, this drama is crazy because Usher came with receipts, and you won't believe the nasty things that Diddy allegedly did. Why are the streets saying that Diddy gave Usher herpes?
So what was in Kim's book? You want to hear it? Here it go. Now, I cannot confirm or deny what's in this book, but ain't nobody fit Natasha K. Mead. So in this book, it detailed his relationships with men, footage of those encounters. It had the names of the men he slept with, a disease. Allegedly, Diddy giving Usher a disease.
Okay, so y'all better hop in because listen, it is giving Kardashian levels of drama. Actually, you know what? Scratch that, because the Kardashians wish they could get this type of drama because it just went from being crazy to downright criminal. Now, y'all know how people were dragging Cassie for settling with Diddy out of court, talking about how she was only after the money at the start and all that. Well, there was talk about how she was doing a victims a disservice and she should have stuck with the case until the end of the trial and blah, blah, blah. Well, as it turns out, she actually did a major service to the victims because more and more people are being bold about their claims and are coming out to expose Diddy for hurting them, and they're now fighting for justice. Oh, and Cassie had the chance to settle the lawsuit before she even filed because her lawyer revealed that Diddy tried to settle with her before she filed. Her lawyer revealed that she turned Diddy down, and she said Mr. Combs offered Miss Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit. She rejected his efforts and decided to give a voice to all women who suffer in silence. Miss Ventura should be applauded for her bravery. So even though Cassie ended up settling out of court, she still achieved the goal because Diddy was getting dragged for filth. And is. But it doesn't just end on social media because there have been some new lawsuits filed against him and his businesses that Diddy is now quickly losing millions upon millions of dollars. Now, we thought that it was messed up before, but then Usher just stepped in the chat. And listen, when I tell y'all the things that he had to say about Diddy, it's horrific and way worse than we thought it was going to be. But before we get into that, I gotta talk about how a lot of people in the industry and in Diddy's circle allegedly saw Usher's lawsuit coming because they have been cleaning house and distancing themselves from him. Macy's announced that they were dropping his fashion line, saying, as a part of our ongoing review of our brand portfolio, the Sean John collection has started to phase out of assortment since early fall 2023. Diddy's products are being removed and won't be available on the site. It's the course of business. Retail stores are always evaluating and deciding what's relevant to consumers. Diageo, the company behind Ciroc, even took him to court, saying the new public and disturbing accusations against him risk devastating and permanent damage to the tequila brand. Now, at the time, we thought he was going to get dropped, not just because of Cassie's lawsuit, but also because of their other lawsuits that were brought against him. In case you missed it, 2 other women came out to file lawsuits against him for allegedly essaying them back in the 90s. One of the women is Joey Dickerson Neal, and she claimed that Diddy drugged her, essayed her, and recorded it without her knowledge when she was a college student in 1991. According to reports, the complaint alleges Mr. Combs intentionally drugged Dickerson Neal, leaving her unable to stand or walk. The suit said she left her drink unattended with him at the restaurant, and afterward, under alleged pressure from Combs, she took a hit from a blunt. They then drove to a music studio, the suit stated. When Dickerson Neal couldn't exit the car, Combs allegedly took her to a place he was staying to SA her, according to the filing. Even worse, she revealed in the lawsuit that Diddy had made a video of him SAing her, and he shared it around. Reports had it that days later, a male friend named Devontae Swing, a member of the popular 90s R&B group Jodeci, revealed to Joey that he viewed an adult tape along with other people, according to the suit. Joey said Swing feared his band would lose its record deal if he spoke against Combs. She also released a statement saying, "I'm so thankful for the bravery of the other women that came forward, the Adult Survivors Act which opened up the filing window to seek justice, and the unwavering support from my attorneys." Dickerson Neal said in a statement Friday, "For 32 years, the only people I have been able to confide in were my close friends and therapists. I'm feeling as if the darkness has lifted and I can freely move forward in achieving my full potential." The next woman to come out decided to stay anonymous, but she claimed that Diddy and singer Aaron Hall allegedly SA'd her and her friend back in the 90s. She claimed that she and her friend had met Diddy at an industry event hosted by RCA Records. She said that both men had been charming, but when they invited her and her friend to Aaron's apartment for an after party, they didn't think anything of it. According to reports, while at Hall's apartment, Jane Doe was offered more drinks and was coerced into being intimate with Combs. After Combs finished doing his business, Jane Doe laid in the bed, shocked and traumatized. While Jane Doe was trying to get dressed, Hall allegedly barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced Jane Doe to be intimate with him. But it was worse than that, because according to reports, Diddy and Aaron then took turns to SA her friend at the time. It didn't end there, because days later, Combs went to the home where Jane Doe and her friend were staying, became irate, and allegedly and choked Jane Doe until she passed out. Combs was allegedly looking for the friend because he feared she would tell the girl he was with at the time. Diddy denied this, and his lawyer said, "Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience or consequence for financial benefit. The New York legislature surely did not intend or expect Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations." But after these lawsuits, things were quiet from Diddy at first. We thought that maybe, just maybe, the case was about to finally die down. But we were wrong on that end, because the next thing we knew, sources started to reveal that Diddy was going to be banned from the Grammys next year. A report said several Academy officials are pushing to remove the billionaire superstar from the Grammy guest list. The formal invitations go out this month. There's conflict at the Academy as several voting members do not think it would be appropriate to invite Diddy. Some, including several high-profile African-American members, fear that inviting him sends the wrong message to audiences and the charities it supports. Several publicists have asked that their artists aren't seated by him. It's a logistic nightmare. Yeah, and that was pretty bad, but the next thing that happened was absolutely shocking, because Diddy's brand Revolt TV announced that he was going to be stepping down. They released a statement that said, "Sean Combs has stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt. While Mr. Combs has previously had no operational or day-to-day role in the business, this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora." They continued, "Our focus has always been one that reflects our commitment to the collective journey of Revolt, one that is not driven by any individual, but by the shared efforts and values of our entire team on behalf of advancing, elevating, and championing our culture." And that continues. So when I saw this, I immediately knew that something sinister was about to happen. I mean, things were starting to quiet down when Revolt TV made their announcement. And I get other brands cutting him off, but his own brand that he built? Yeah, it was given that he was trying to separate himself from his brand so he didn't lose no money. And listen, was I right on that? Because word on the streets is that Usher is now threatening to file a lawsuit against Diddy for allegedly essaying him when he was just a teenager. Now, as bad as it sounds, this isn't exactly new, because rumors of Diddy essaying Usher have been around for years. People have been saying for a long time that Usher was one of Diddy's first victims, and it looks like Usher is ready to confirm this. So for those of you who don't know, Usher's mentor at the time, L.A. Reid, sent Usher to live with Diddy when he was just 13 years old because he wanted Usher to learn from Diddy. Diddy exposed Usher to a couple of things that were way above his age range. He should have never been exposed to it. I mean, have y'all wondered why Usher hates talking about his time with Diddy? It's a period of time that shaped his entire career, but for some reason, he doesn't want to talk much about it. And when he does talk about it, the things he says makes it super clear that a lot of messed up things happened at the time. There was this interview that he did with Howard Stern, and the things he said were immediate red flags.
It was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
Nah, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody.
Listen, so just so y'all know how bad it was, Usher vowed that he would never let his own kids do the same thing.
You ever send your kid to puffy camp?
Hell no.
See,
He then claimed that Diddy forced him to hide what he was doing from his parents.
your parents
See,
were
Mary
okay.
J. Blige, they ain't know nothing about this.
Oh,
There's also this interview where he hinted that Diddy used to SA him, but he didn't exactly come out and say it. The interviewer wrote, Usher became surprisingly restrained. I want to save some stuff from my book one day, he said. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex. Then there's this video where Diddy slipped up and said that he and Usher used to sleep in the same bed.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up, and back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the
Y'all, what about the time when he said this?
You ain't for nobody else but you. You take your time, boy. I see you. Fly ass motherfucker doing Vegas. You were in the kitchen eating all my cereal.
Listen, y'all, the truth has been right in front of our eyes this entire time, but we just couldn't see it. Well, the streets are now saying that Usher wants some payback for the things that Diddy did to him. The recent lawsuits, as well as him reading all 35 pages of Cassie's lawsuit, triggered his trauma, and he has had to relive the pain. But get this, some people are now saying that Diddy and the other industry people are trying to get him to change his mind, saying that he is being ungrateful. They allegedly think he should get over his feelings because Diddy played a huge role in his career, and that his career would have ended years ago if Diddy had not taken him in, and that Diddy didn't mean for whatever happened to happen the way that it did. Y'all are completely gaslighting him, but fans are horrified, and they've been leaving comments saying, when the Surviving Diddy series comes out, Usher will be the first episode they talk about. I swear the next doc they are going to make is Surviving Diddy. The dude is creepy as F and nobody talks about it. Usher and Justin Bieber, dude, something ain't right. And I remember Diddy saying him and Usher used to wrestle in their underwear for Frosted Flakes, and Kevin Hart was the only real dude to be like, huh? This is horrible, y'all. I hope that Usher ultimately does what he thinks is best for him, because I understand the pressure and threats that he has to be under right now. But do y'all think that he's going to go through with the lawsuit, or do you think he's going to cave under pressure? Drop your thoughts and comments below.